Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. This is Sunday Satsang, December 20.
December 19? 18 December.
18th December, Radha Kunda. So any questions? Anyone has? Any questions? Madhuri?
Is sadhana important or service important? It's like we are like chanting and hearing and doing everything, but if we have an option to do service or sadhana, what should we do?
We have an opportunity, you say hearing and chanting and doing limbs of bhakti. Navada bhakti is called sadhana bhakti. It can be Raganuga sadhana or Vaidhi sadhana. But if we have a chance to do service, what do you mean by that? Is service. Hearing and chanting, remembering, worshipping, and praying is all forms of service to Krishna. What are you saying? You're saying Guru Seva or Babu Seva to Guru, cooking for Guru, or washing Guru's clothes, or selling Guru's books, or doing some personal service to Guru. That's called Padasevanam. That's the fourth limb of Bhakti. Shodana Kirtan Vishnu Swaram Padasevanam. Vishnu Padasevanam, Vishnu Das Padasevanam. Hari Guru Vaishnava Seva. We serve Hari, we serve Guru, we serve the Vaishnavas. That's all sadhana, that's all seva. You attain perfection just by Guru Seva, Vaishnava Seva. Prabhupada had one disciple. He served for 40 years cooking Krishna's offerings. And he was, in the old days, he cooked on coal, so it was very laborious. He started cooking at 3 a.m. and we cooked till 11 p.m. And he told Prabhupada personally, he said, I can't chant my japa, I'm in the kitchen all day serving Thakurji. Prabhupada said, that's okay, you don't have to chant your 16 rounds. Just chant while you're cooking. So he would sing very quietly, beautiful Bengali accent and swara and rag and everything, nice kirtans of Hare Krishna. So seva is the main thing, because in the spiritual world, gopis aren't walking around chanting japa. They're doing seva. We say Asakali Seva, Asakali Lila means Asakali Lila Seva. Krishna serving Radharani, Radharani serving Krishna. Everyone's serving Krishna, basically. Jivara Surabhaya Krishna Enriched. So everyone's serving Krishna or Krishna's devotees. So you're engaged in Guru Seva, that's perfect. Actually, we're going in our Guru Sangha, Guru Shishya Sangha, after this class we have the Sangha just with initiated disciples. We're going to talk about Babu Seva from Bhakti Sandarbha. That's on my agenda, to talk about that. And specifically Bhakti Sandarbha, Anucheta number 237 describes the power and efficacy of Guru Babu Seva. Vani Seva and Babu Seva. Babu Seva is serving the form of the Guru, the Babu the form. And Vani means serving the Shiksha and instructions of the Guru. So yes, you have personal service to Guru, that's always good. But generally the Guru also, he gives seva to the disciple. And one of the main services the Guru gives all disciples is called service to the bhakti. He wants every disciple to engage in Shrodana Kirtan Vishnu Smaranam, hearing and chanting, remembering Radha and Krishna. Because our goal is to hear and chant and serve Radha and Krishna in the sadhak roop and our siddha roop. So the Guru wants to see, every Guru wants to see his disciple as much as possible engaged in Srupa Siddha Bhakti, hearing, chanting, remembering Radha and Krishna. in Sarup and Sirup, if you have Sirup, or if you don't, it doesn't matter. Just always hear and chant about Radha and Krishna. Their names, forms, qualities, and leelas, especially their leelas, because that includes everything. And also Ras and Bhav are there also. So, Seva is the primary element. Jivara Swarupari Krishna Nityadas. This is Srup Lakshana. This is the primary characteristic of every Jiva, is Seva. Not hearing and chanting, but hearing and chanting is also called Seva. But Seva also means Seva. Because even all the Sevas, Jiva Goswami explains in Sandarbhas, all the different physical Sevas we do attain perfection if we're chanting Hare Krishna while we're doing them. So we see Radharani's cooking for Krishna, she's singing about Krishna. Yashoda's cooking, churning yogurt into butter, and she's singing bhajans about Krishna. So singing is the best seva. One time, there was one disciple of Prabhupada named Hansaduta Das. He was a very good singer and kirtan devotee, and very good devotee. He left this world. He was one of the old devotees from 1966 or 7. He joined in New York. And Prabhupada liked his voice very much. And Prabhupada told him, he said, "You're singing, that's the," because he asked him a question, he said, "How to become self-realized?" He said, "Just sing." Because singing means self-realization. Sing about Krishna, not singing love songs about your girlfriend or something. That's some kind of realization, but not self-realization. Sing about Krishna, this is self-realization. So sing your way to Krishna. So he was a good singer. Nice devotee. I knew him personally. So seva is unlimited, but the main principle is Ante Narayana Srinti. Always remember Krishna. However, whatever it takes for you to be absorbed in remembrance of Krishna. Paint to remember Krishna. Sing, remember Krishna. Cook, remember Krishna. Read books, remember Krishna. Some people are doing puja. The guy's doing puja in the temple and he's thinking of his girlfriend. Well, maybe it's better to say his wife. He's thinking of his wife and he's doing puja. That's not remembering Krishna. You're fed and showered with thinking, "Oh, my wife." No. The mind can liberate us, or mind can bind us. The mind should always be filled with Krishna Smaran. Another question? You have a question? No, one behind you, gentleman behind you.
I heard, but it's so much personal question. Okay, I will ask.
Yeah, thank you.
What is adhikara for Babaji? So this life means be completely absorbed. Someone can be grihastha, but someone Babaji. What is adhikara for this, for Babaji?
What is the adhikara of Babaji? You made a nice point. This gentleman made a nice point. He said one may be a grihastha or maybe a renunciate. Sannyasi means Babaji. Babaji means sannyasi. You just say the word Babaji, but it means sannyasi. Because in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, white cloth is not advised to be worn in Hari Bhakti Vilas. It says brahmacharis and grihasthas, everyone should wear white cloth, not red cloth. Lord Chaitanya didn't like to see it always wearing red cloth. So you made a point that if one is a grihastha and they're absorbed in bhakti bhajan, that's the keynote. That's the goal. Ashram doesn't have position, or ashram doesn't have anything to do with it. Success in bhakti bhajan. Success is determined by absorption. In Bhakti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami describes several anuchets about the power of absorption. Shishapal was absorbed. Kamsa was absorbed. They're absorbed with hatred and envy, but they got perfection. Krishna liberated them. So it's unfavorable, it's not anukulya absorption, but it's absorption in Bhagavan and Krishna gave him success. So absorption is whatever ashram, whatever position you can be in and be safe and happy and peaceful and be absorbed in Bhakti Bhajan, that's the place to be. Babaji is another way of saying sannyas. So you know what it means to be a sannyasi? I think so. So Babaji, first of all, he's not married. He lives alone, and he's absorbed. He's supposed to spend all his time, just like Grihastha is Sivranali, and Babaji has Sivranali. They're doing the same thing. They're spending as much time as possible being absorbed in their sitting there and meditating around Krishna. Jaya Jaya Nandaji, Radha Radhe. Welcome. Come here, come sit. Sit, you sit here. This is my friend Jayananda. Welcome. You sit there, right? Sure. This is my friend Muralika. Sometimes friend. Not all the time. Not everyday friends. You can sit on the bed, yeah, sit there. Yeah, when we get more chairs, there's chairs in the Ramcha room. We'll get some more chairs.
It's going to be matches.
What?
It's going to be some matches.
Yeah, you should. Come closer, sit here. Come on.
You will.
Yeah. You're too smart. So, you're asking, what is your question? What is a Babaji?
What's the Dikara?
What is the qualification of Babaji? He just wants to do bhajan, he wants to live alone and do bhajan. The adhikar for Babaji is a single person, usually we say a man, I don't know if there's lady Babajis. Usually it's a man who wants to live alone and be absorbed in bhajan and lila smaran. That's a Babaji. And it's a real Babaji, he's supposed to be in his kitchen. He's supposed to just live in some room somewhere and do madhukari and bake food. This is the example shown by the 6 Goswamis.
He's not traveling. This person who is taking Babaji lifestyle, he's not traveling.
No need to travel. Babaji does bhajan. He doesn't travel. That's Hari Rajak. Hari Rajak is a sannyasi who travels. Babajis generally don't travel. The modern day Babajis everything modern day is different. Everything modern day is different, but traditionally, where the Goswamis went to travel, they traveled Brajmandal, Bas. The 6 Goswamis are the ideal renunciates, vairagi, sadhus. And they spend all their time Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Natapi Kalava Sandrikato Nijahara Viharakara Visato Chiyanta Dinacho. They control their senses and did bhajan, hearing, chanting, remembering, 20 hours a day. They stay alone, did bhajan, and when they got together, they talked Hari Katha. They didn't go to Agra, they didn't go anywhere. I think one time Jiva Goswami went to Agra to meet Akbar, but he came in the morning, he was picked up by Akbar's chariot, and he came back by the same afternoon. He went for an hour or two. But any other Goswami, as soon as they moved to Vrindavan, they never left. So Babaji means someone who stays in Holy Dham and does bhajan, lives alone and meets with sadhus occasionally and talks Hari Katha. That's what we see in our tradition, and that's how you attain perfection. You attain perfection by sitting in one place. If you attain perfection and you want to share your perfection with the world, then you can go travel. But I asked my Gurudev the same thing. Because at the age of 99, he got on a second-class train and went to Calcutta to preach. I said, Gurudev, you're 99, you know? And you've done this so many times. Why don't you wait and let the devotees come here? You know? And I said, let me buy an AC ticket at least, first class AC. No, second class unreserved, it's okay. A second class unreserved train. Come on. And he insisted on it. So he said they need to hear Hari Katha. If I stay in Radha Kunda, how do they come here? I have to go. So 99 years old, he went out to preach to his disciples. He's a Babaji. He did bhajan 80 years in Rajmanda from 1940 to 2019. So you want to take Babaji, take Babaji.
It's just caution what I received recently. I'm just trying to understand.
Huh?
I'm just trying to understand this situation because I received caution for me. It's my caution for the way. I'm just on the way.
Yeah, I had that idea also. I was a sannyasi in 1985. I took sannyas. After 2 years of traveling and preaching in America, I decided I want to go to Vrindavan and do bhajan. So many things came into place. And then I came in 87 on a one-way ticket, entry visa. And my idea was that I'll get Indian citizenship because I had to stay in Vrindavan and you have to have Indian citizenship to stay here. So that was my sankalpa and my prayer. And so Radharani fulfilled that prayer. I became Indian citizen in 1988 after 10 years of living here. 87, 88. I mean, 98, excuse me, 1998, I became Indian citizen. I came in 87. So now, basically my sankalpa was, I want to go to Vrindavan and do bhajan. And I didn't think about Babaji or this or that. Just I'm not leaving Vrindavan. I'll just stay in Vrindavan and do bhajan and give a class here and there once in a while, whenever they ask me. I was a freelance Bhagavatam speaker. I lived outside the temple, and the Krishna Bhagavan temple called me up, oh, Charasi, can you come and give a lecture? Okay, I'll come and give a lecture. Vijayamasi, come and give. Otherwise, I was in my kuti all the time, doing my own thing, writing books. People ask you a question, are you an ISKCON or not? I said, I don't know, I gave a lecture on Radhastami. I was like a freelance member of ISKCON. And finally I had to take a walk, you know. Got my walking papers. Anyway, so I think you should do the same thing. Get Indian citizenship, you're Russian, you already know 3 or 4 languages, you can learn Hindi pretty easily. And then you learn Hindi, you become an Indian citizen, take Babaji, do bhajan. That's your nature. That's your nature, and you should stay in Braj and do bhajan. The adhikar has to match your nature. Your nature is your adhikar. Your adhikar is to be renounced, to be absorbed in bhajan. I know something about you, so I encourage that way of life. Do like I do. Why can't you do? You can do also. You all encourage him. All encourage him and all bless him. We got enough grihastas in the world. We really have a lot of grihastas. We don't need any more, thank you. All glories, but no thank you. Say very good and everything's very nice. Jai ho! That's Ravine, I think, isn't it? Where do we get asana, get a chair, get a mora, get a big mora. Say, yeah, please sit there. Dandavad pranam, Sarvadi. Okay, what's the question here? Jayananda, you have a question. You came all the way from Vrindavan, it's a long way.
Yes.
Japan, Vrindavan.
Yeah, I just want to have a darshan and
So Sadhu Maharaj is so much appreciating you, and he encouraged us to get your dust of heat and your association.
Jaya, Sadhu Maharaj ki jai.
So, can I ask a question?
Yes.
So Prabhupada mentioned Bhagavad Gita in the first introduction. He said like Swarupa and Swarupa City.
Yeah, I heard this from your Guru Maharaj.
So, and could you explain for us Swarupa and Swarupa City how to get Swarupa City if we can some kind of for our benefit?
You're asking two-part question?
Yes.
This Jayananda Das Ji is asking what is Swarup and what is Swarup Siddhi. Swarup means, Swa means my own, and Rup means my own form, which means that the Atma has individual form, because this is the Vaishnava conception. The Advaitin conception is the Atma is formless, Nirgun and Nirupam. But the Vaishnava conception, the Atma has a form, and the form is transcendental, and the form is in Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan. And they cite about different Bhagavatam verses and the commentaries or acharyas to describe how the Atma has an individual form. Even this conception of the Atma having individual form is mentioned in Vedanta Sutra, which is also called Brahma Sutra. And Baladev has commented on in Govinda Vasya about the individual root of the Jivatma. Jivatma has this form, transcendental form in the spiritual world. And one of those spiritual bodies is given to a sadhaka who attains siddhi. So Swarup Siddhi means to attain perfection and receive your spiritual body. That's the easiest definition of Swarup Siddhi. Siddhi means perfection. And when you attain Swarup Siddhi, you're called a sadhana siddha. There's nitya siddhas. Nitya siddhas means to have eternal perfection and they're in the spiritual world. They don't come to this material world, usually, maybe occasionally. Bhagavatamrita mentions that some Nitya Siddhas from Vaikuntha, they come here to preach. Gopal Kumar saw jivas leaving Vaikuntha, liberated souls, Nitya Siddha jivas, Vaikuntha Vasis, and he said, "Where are you going?" He said, "We're going to Japan to preach." We're going to China to preach. We're going to Bihar to preach. But no, they said they're going to preach. So they're Nitya Siddhas. So Swarup Siddhi means that we do bhajan and we realize and see and have darshan of our Swarup and we come to Bhava Bhakti. But the first person gets darshan of the Swarup is the Guru. The Guru gets darshan of the Swarup of the Shishya by meditation, by prayer, by meditation, by the kripa of the parampara, by the kripa of the Samasti Guru. Samasti Guru is a form of Krishna that sits on Krishna's left-hand side. Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna is in the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan, and Radharani's there. But next to Krishna on his left-hand side is aggregate, the sum total of all gurus is called Samasti Guru. The guru that gives us diksha is called Vyasti Guru. Vyasti Guru. So the Samasti Guru, all the members of the Guru Parampara, in Vaita Parivar, in Vaita Parivar family of Vaita, all the way down to my Guru Maharaj, they give their mercy, and I pray, and I get revelation, I have Swurti, I get a darshan, I get a vision of the Swarup of the disciple, and I reveal that to the disciple. It's called Siddha Pranali Diksha. So Siddha Pranali Diksha means revelation of the Siddha Swarup of the individual jiva that's doing bhajan. So now when that Shishya, means disciple, does bhajan in Raganuga Marg with Siddhadeya and do a little smara and Nastakalya Seva as directed by Guru, gradually they'll attain siddhi. and they become sadhana siddha. So we don't change our category, we're sadhana siddhas, and we don't change our category, we're jiva shakti, but when we change sadhana siddhi, that will happen in Bhava Bhakti. Bhava Bhakti is equivalent to siddhi, perfection. And in Bhava Bhakti, what's called sadhana siddha, and we're not nitya siddha, we're sadhana siddhas. Even in the spiritual world, we're still jiva shakti, but we're imbued, like Prabhupada used the term, when you're engaged in bhakti, your senses are spiritualized. Your material senses, what they're engaged in bhakti, are called spiritualized. So the jiva shakti doesn't become swarup shakti, but it becomes swarup shakti eyes. It becomes imbued with swarup shakti. But it doesn't change its ontological position or category. Jiva shakti is always jiva shakti. Swarup shakti is always swarup shakti. So we're at the point of perfection, we enter Goloka Vrindavan as Nitya Siddha Jivas, Nitya Siddha Jiva Shaktis, you could say, you want to say it like that. Sadhana Siddha Jiva Shakti. We have our Siddha Deya, our Siddha Sarup, the Sadhana Siddhas, our Siddha Sarup. But you can't tell, it's not that the manjaris have an identification tag, with their picture on it. I'm sadhana siddha. Oh, Lalita Sekhi has a tag, I'm nitya siddha. It's not, it's understood who's who just by hierarchy and, you're a new person there. But there's no us and them or big or small there. But it doesn't change, everything is nitya. So jiva is nitya, so jiva doesn't become Swarup Shakti. Some people write like that and they're writing wrong. It's not based on Goswami teachings. It's not based on our Tattva Siddhanta. Jiva Shakti is Jiva Shakti. Nitya Bhara becomes Sadhana Siddha. Nitya, we're always Nitya. Jiva is Nitya. Bhagavan is Nitya. Kala is Nitya. The material world is Nitya. It's prakat and aprakat. Manifest and unmanifest. Swarup Siddhi is another way of saying Siddha Deya, or Siddha Sarup. Siddha Sarup, Swarup Siddhi, Siddha Deya, it all means the same thing.
So your sampradaya, our sampradaya, there's some kind of pranali. Is there another rasa, like another Saki sampradaya, or like a Gopi, or some Vatsalya or Sakya rasa, they have some pranali or nothing?
Different question, I'll just keep speaking. We're speaking about different sampradayas and what is their, how in that sampradaya they receive a spiritual body to accommodate the stairati that they are attracted to or inclined towards or realize or whatever. Because you can be a servant of Krishna, Vatsalyarati and parental love, motherly love, fatherly love, or Sakyarati, like a coward boyfriend. Stairati means a permanent loving mood towards Krishna. It's called Stairati. It's the foundation of Ras, Bhakti Ras. Or Vatsalya or Sakya or Gopi, it can be a Saki. You want to be like Lalita Vishaka. You want to have amorous pastimes with Krishna in Kunja Lila and other. So that amorous Saki relationship, that's available in Nimbark Sampradaya. And I have some friends in Nimbark Sampradaya, and they also get some kind of Siddhaya there. I know that. But I don't know about others. I can't comment or answer about other Sampradayas accommodating a Siddha Sruva Vatsalyarati, or must be there. But I only know about Gaudiya Sampradaya and Nimbark because it's very close to ours. But they want Madhurarati, we want Madhurarati, but they want Sambhogachatmika. Sambhogachatmika Kamarup Bhakti. They want Sambhog, we want Tat Bhavichatmika. Kamarup Bhakti for Radha Krishna, these technical stuff. We want to relish the bhav and feelings of Radharani, and Vishaka Lita. Not be them, but to serve them, assist them, and do everything we can to make them happy, make Radharani happy especially, and Krishna, and bring them together. Perfection of Manjari Sakhi's seva is to bring Radha and Krishna together for Milan, for Sambhog Milan. Enjoying Julan Yatri, Holy Yatra, Van Bihar, Ratikeli, Kunja Lila, all the Lilas together. It's called Sambhog. Enjoying together, Sambhog. Vira and Sambhog. Vira means separation. Praying by Purvarag, praying by Chitya, Man and Pravasarag.
So Maharaj, so like, so Tat Tat Bhabe Chattamika has two kinds, you know?
Right.
So Tat Tat Bhabe Chattamika is, I think, two kinds. One is like a Saki Baba and also Baba Urasarati. Is this correct?
The question is, Tat Tat Bhav Ichatmika Bhav. There's two varieties. One is called, what did you say one?
I like a ordinary Saki Baba, and another is Baba Urasa Manjari Baba.
Bhavalasrati. I don't know. I know Bhavalasrati. Generally, the Sakhis are Samasneyadik Sakhi, Radha Sneyadik Sakhi, and Krishna Sneyadik Sakhi. So, for example, Tanishta Sakhi and Brindadevi Sakhi are Krishna Sneyadik. They have more love and affection for Krishna than they do for Radharani. And what does that mean? They have 100% love for Krishna and 125% for Radharani. You know, because they have more, but they also have, everyone has 100% love for Krishna. Don't misunderstand. Oh, Krishna, okay. No, love Krishna 100%, but Radharani 150%. That's Radha Snehadi. But Krishna Snehadi means, I love Radharani 100%, I love Krishna 150%. So Tanishta and Vrindadevi, they love Radharani 100%, but I love Krishna 150%. You see when you read Govinda Lila Amrita and other books, how they take sides of Krishna, not Radharani. Tanishta and Vrindadevi are always taking sides of Krishna against Tulsi and Rati Manjari, who is always supporting Radharani. You read minutely, probably the Shastra, you'll see that Tulsi Manjari and Rati Manjari and other Asta Manjari is always ganging up on Krishna. And Vrindadevi and Tanishta are always standing up for Krishna, defending his position, because they have more sneha. So the question is, in Tat Tat Bhavichatmika Bhav, the Manjaris, or their Sakhis have that Bhav? I don't know. There are Sakhis that have Samasneyadik, that equal affection. They enjoy Rati Vilas, they enjoy intimate amorous pastimes with Krishna, but they have equal love for Radha and Krishna. There are Sakhis like that. But Sakhis that love Krishna, like Lalita Vishaka Radharani, that Tat Tat Bhavichatmika, I haven't heard. I'm not familiar with that. But Bhavalasrati, this particular form of loving attachment, Rati, is specified for the Manjaris. Because it means Bhavalas, they have more love for Radharani than they do for Krishna. And when Radharani's experienced her ecstasies, that rise in her heart, ulas means rise up. Ulas is like, the word ulas is like, there's a kirtan going on, Harinam Sankirtan. Harinam Sankirtan, and it's getting more and more enthusiastic, more and more faster, and pretty soon people start saying, Haribo, Haribo. And they just stop saying Hare Krishna because they're too much ecstatic. And they just start jumping up and down, Haribo, Haribo. That's ulas. That's ulas. When you stop shoving your feet in a Swami step, and you put your arms up and start jumping up and down, Haribo, Haribo. It's just like a spark, like a piston in a car, boom, 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 boom. You know, going up and down, boom, boom. That's ulas. So Bhavalas, the Manjaris, when Radharani gets excited, their hearts start jumping like that. Bhavalas, their excitement, their love starts jumping. So this is a special experience of Manjaris, Bhavalas.
So means we should separate. We should think separately, like a Tat Baba Chatto because ordinary Saki Baba and Baba Rasa is Manjari Baba. We should separately. We think it like this.
Tat Baba Chanika and Baba Lasrati are the same.
Same.
Baba Lasrati is an expression of the Saki, the Manjaris who are in the category. Manjaris are in the category of Tat Baba Chanika.
Okay.
That means they want to relish the Baba, and when they're relishing the Baba to such an extent that it becomes ulas, it becomes Baba ulas. So from Tat Baba Chanika, that's the permanent position, emotional temperament, emotional mood of Manjaris towards Radharani.
Manjari also including this.
Manjaris and Vishaka and other Sakis. That's the Manjaris' emotional outlook toward them and towards Krishna. But then in the context of their love for Radharani, when Radharani, when she's with Krishna, feeling a particular ecstatic feelings in her heart, then that love in the heart, that bhav in the heart, the that bhav in the hearts of Manjaris, it rises up because ulas. Then they experience Baba Lasrati. They're not always in Baba Lasrati. They have the potential to rock out. But you have the potential to dance crazy, but you're not always dancing crazy. Sometimes you dance crazy, the potential's in you. I see it. What about Yashaswini? Wow, she goes crazy. Everybody's going, yeah. So Manjaris, Tat Baba Chanika Manjaris, they have potential to experience Baba Lasrati. That's a special rati, that's a special loving mood they have. Rati means loving mood. They're not always going crazy. Yeah. That's my understanding. These things are not so black and white written down. This is my understanding.
Okay. Also, Maharaj, some devotees, some acharyas say,
Yeah.
some acharyas say, like we can go back to Goloka directly. Some acharyas say, go to some Boma Vrindavan. Some lila is going on, and then after that we are training up. Then go to Goloka Vrindavan.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
I want to do straight.
What?
So I want to do straight.
You want to take a two-step process or one-step process?
So just I want to hear your kind of. So I believe we can directly go to Goloka, but some acharya, some comment, go to some one step. So I want to hear your comment, your realization.
Our Jainanaji is asking about the time of perfection, which is hopefully sooner than later, but it doesn't come so easy. But when the sadhana becomes siddha, attains prema, then the sadhaka can leave this maya jagat. He can leave this material body behind, and he can go two different places, two different destinations. The original teachings of the 6 Goswamis and Krishna's Kaviraj and Vrindavan Das Thakur and Baladevi Vibhushan. I don't know about Baladevi Vibhushan, but Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya. They all explain, the 6 Goswamis, Rupasnandan, etc. They all explain when you attain prema, then you go directly to Krishna. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur was also a Gaudiya Vaisnava Mahajanacharya, considered one of our Purvacharyas. He's much more recent. He's in 1700s, 1740, 30. and Narottam is before that. So Vishwanath and his Shiksha disciple Baldev Vidyabhushan, they share this idea. And this idea is revealed in the writings of Vishwanath Raghavana Chandrika. And Vishwanath Chakravarti says that the sadhaka attains prema, a male or female sadhaka attains prema, now they have the eligibility to enter Bhoma Vrindavan. So after giving up this body, will take birth from a womb of a gopi in the Prakat Lila of Krishna in some material universe, on some earth planet, the material universe, where Krishna is having his Prakat Lila manifest pastimes. Will be born in Barsana or some nearby village, Unshagan, or Dabaro, or Anchakot, or Kamai, or whatever. And then when you're there, you're born in that village, born in Unshagan, as a little Saki, Gopi. Then you'll grow up and you'll gradually meet your Guru Saki, and then you'll meet Rupa Mantri, and then you'll meet the Lalita Saki, and you'll get training. They'll train you in different levels of prema. Because this body, as a sadhaka in a material world, we can only reach to prema. We can't reach beyond prema. But in the spiritual world starts, it's prem dham. So spiritual world, the entrance fee, the entrance requirement is prema. And from prema then to do anything there in prem dham, you have to have sneha, man, pranaya, rag, anurag, bhav, mahabhav, modanakya, mahanakya. All there are there's 9 levels of bhakti development in sadhguru and 7 levels of bhakti development in siddharup. This is the contention and teachings of Vishwanath. The 7 levels are sneha, man, pranaya, rag, anurag, bhav, mahabhav. It becomes 7. And the 9 is shraddha, Ado Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana, Kriya, Narottam, Sakti, Nishtha, Sakti. That's 9. 9, 7, 16 steps to perfection. 9 in sadhguru, 7 in siddharup. This is the teachings of Vishwanath Chakravarti. And most of the acharyas today, including my Guru Baba, who's a Vaidya Parivar, and my Shiksha Guru, Anantadas Babaji Maharaj, who's Nityananda Parivar, and most Vinod Bihari Baba, and most Gaudiya Vaisnava acharyas that I know, they all prescribe the 2-step method. They all say that Vishwanath's Siddhanta is correct, that we have to take birth from a womb of a gopi in Bhoma Vrindavan and get training. And it's also revealed in Stavavali by Raghunath Das Goswami. He explains how in Siddharup, as Tulsi Manjari, he's receiving training from different Sakis. Training in the Kala means the arts, the 64 arts. He has prayers in Stavavali, where Raghunath Das, who is Tulsi Manjari, he's praying, Well, Radharani, teach me Praheli, teach me Natya, Praheli, Kavi, Sangeet. Radharani will teach me how to sing, teach me how to write poetry, teach me how to speak riddles. Praheli means riddles, and she'll teach me Natya, drama. And when I go to Vishaka is a Narma Pandit. Narma Pandit means an expert joker. So the Vishaka Saki will teach me joking. The different Sakis will teach different arts. This is Vishnu's idea.
So, but the 6 Goswami does not say anything.
No, 6 Goswami says direct flight, no change in London. Direct flight, Washington DC, Moscow.
So, I have a question. Yeah. So, some of us, we came to Krishna consciousness and we were instructed that this Vaidhi Bhakti is the only way for us to stay in this Vaidhi Bhakti. And now I'm hearing more about this Raganuga Bhakti and that this is accessible. Why is I mean, what is your opinion? Why has Krishna made this arrangement to keep so many people fixed in this Vaidhi Bhakti? Srila Prabhupada, maybe that wasn't his intention, but that ended up happening in this organization and also in Gaudiya Vaisnava. So it's very difficult for us, for me myself personally, after being 30 years or so in this route of Vaidhi Bhakti now, to transition. And why is this happening? Why has this arrangement? And what is your opinion?
Okay, thank you. It's a nice question. Somebody's asking a question that the most famous worldwide preaching missions in the world are what we call IGM, ISKCON, Gaudiya Math, and they say IGM. That's usually how they refer to IGM, like IBM, IGM. IGM means ISKCON, Gaudiya Math, and they seem to emphasize mostly Vaidhi sadhana, but there's another type of sadhana called Radha sadhana, which we don't really hear about, or I didn't hear about it. I was 75, I joined ISKCON. I heard about it in 86, I heard about it after 10 years. I moved to Vrindavan as soon as I heard about it in 87. I got deep into it. But why is it like that? It's like that because there's two roads to perfection in sadhana bhakti. One's called Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, one's called Raganuga sadhana bhakti. They both lead to prema. Prema is to perfection. Perfection of life is love of God, Krishna prema. But Vaidhi sadhana leads to Krishna prema, but takes you to Vaikuntha. And Raganuga sadhana leads to Krishna prema and takes you to Goloka Vrindavan, to the service of Radha and Krishna. So there's the two branches. And so Prabhupada felt, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, why is there two paths? Because one path, every jiva is eligible for Vaidhi sadhana. But not every jiva is eligible for Raganuga sadhana. Why? Because Raganuga sadhana depends on rag. The word rag, R-G-A, means passion. Like we say Rajagun. Rajagun, the word rag also means Raja. Rajagun means passion, means passionate devotion. I'm passionate about God. I really want to love Krishna and Vrindavan mood like gopis. But most people don't have that. We don't even know who Krishna is, especially Western people. First we have to find out who's Krishna, what's Bhagavad Gita, who am I, and all the basic tattvas we have to learn. Even if we're Indian, we have an idea of God as Vishnu, Lakshmi Narayan. But Radha and Krishna, a little boy in a village chasing a bunch of girls, stealing their clothes. What kind of God is this? Even Indians who know all this stuff, they reject it. We worship Krishna in Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra Krishna, that's real Krishna. Dwarka Krishna, that's real Krishna. This UP guy, he's just a bunch of Goswamis made up some stories to make some money and tell the people from the city some fancy stories about village playboys and stuff, So it's a good thing what they do, because we don't have the ID card, the general ID card. We don't have the qualification of generally people. Very few people are actually qualified for Raganuga Bhakti. It's very popular. Everyone's all kinds of articles and YouTube movies. Everyone's talking nonsense about Raganuga Bhakti. I've seen YouTube movies, films. Some guy in Savron saying, when you come to the level of Baba, then you can start practicing Raganuga Bhakti. I said, what? The guy's cracked. He thinks Baba Bhakti is a qualification. He's making a whole movie about it, 20-minute movie. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. I mean, if you're going to speak, you should know what you're talking about, otherwise be quiet, You can begin Raganuga Bhakti at an Artha-Nivriti. Right at the very beginning, if you have rag, in Artha-Nivriti, you're full of greed and anger, lust, envy, your senses aren't controlled, you're not a nishta, you're not steady, but you're just crazy about Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan. And you wear a t-shirt, right? It said, I lost my heart in Vrindavan. And then underneath it says, my glasses, my shoes, my camera, my glasses, my shoes, my camera, my pocketbook, my debit card. I lost my heart of Vrindavan. Then the backside says, and my shoes, and my glasses, and my pocketbook, my debit card. Because Krishna says, Mrityu Sarvasarastra, I take everything. So you come to Vrindavan, you have to die. You have to die to live, Sri Swami said. So you come to Vrindavan, you have to give up all your attachments. So the monkeys help you. You have to give up all your attachments. Sarva Dharma Pratyaja, Mali Kanchanamraja. So you came to Braj. Oh, take your camera, take your pocketbook, take your Aadhaar card, everything. Glasses. And you can't see, you can't spend money, you can't go shopping Loy Bazaar. Oh, no. Now I have to chant, do Madhukari. Become a monkey like us. You know. So Vrindavan has a way of turning everybody into Babajis. Everybody becomes renounced, they come to Vrindavan. Forcefully or voluntarily. So the path you're on for 30 years is perfect. Now an interesting feature here, someone says, here's another question you'll be asked. I'm practicing Vaidhi for 30 years, but I'm not worshipping Lakshmi Narayan, I'm not worshipping Lakshmi Vishnu, and I don't want to go to Vaikuntha. When I come to India, I don't go to South Indian temples. I come to Vrindavan and go to Radha Raman and Radha Shyam Sundar and Banki Bihari and Radha Vallabha and wherever you go, and you go all Leela style, Vrindakun and here and there. So how am I going to go to Vaikuntha? So the same question is asked in Rag Vardhan Chandrika by Vishnu. He says, what happens to devotees that are doing only Vaidhi sadhana? They don't have Siddha Pranali, they don't have Siddha Daya, they're not following the Nitya Parishads, the Brajajanas. It's called Ragavika Bhaktas of Braj, like Lalita Vishaka Rupavasi. They're not doing Rag Bhakti, they're just doing good sadhana bhakti. What happens to them? So Vishwanath gives a very interesting alternative solution. A win-win situation for all IGMers. There's a bright future for IGMers. Aishvarya Goloka Vrindavan. Shai. Aishvarya Goloka Vrindavan. He describes it. It's also mentioned in the 10th Canto Bhagavatam, chapter 28, in the commentaries by Vishwanath about what is that situation. It's also in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami is talking about Aishvarya Goloka Vrindavan. Not Aishwarya Vaikuntha, Aishwarya Goloka Vrindavan. And there, because you worship Radha Krishna, so you love Vrindavan, you love Radha Krishna, Bharati's Radha Krishna. Your house, you have versions of Lakshmi Narayan, you have four, nobody has four. Everyone has Radha Krishna. So you have to go to Vrindavan, you have to attain Radha Krishna. So you will go to Goloka, but you go to Aishwarya Karakoshta. Karakoshta means department area of Aishwarya Goloka Vrindavan. Aishwarya, you won't be in the Astikaya Leela of Radha Krishna. You'll see Radha Krishna. They'll come like arti, almost like they're on the altar, and you'll go and you'll do arti to them and worship them and sing bhajans to them and circumambulate and offer them bhog and have another arti and then say, okay, you're done, say, yeah, okay, bye. And then Radha Krishna will get off the altar and go to Radha Kunda and have Leela. And you'll wait till tomorrow, next day, and have Mangal Arti again. It's not very much specifically described. I'm filling in painting in a little details there myself. But it's just generally it's told. You can try to understand. But what I told you, if you're worshiping in Vaidhi sadhana and you attain Aishwarya Goloka Vrindavan, you're not in the Kunja Leela, you're not in Rasa Leela, you're not in Julan Leela, you're not in Bambihar, you're not in Jalka. I can tell you all the Leelas you're not in. Because those are only for Ragavika Bhaktas and Raganuga Bhaktas. Yeah, the two-finger goalpost volley. Sure you want a football player, a soccer player, last night? She always go like this, goalpost. She's kind of athletic type also. 2 points, 6 points, touchdown. Does that confuse you nicely? Add some salt to the sweet rice. What's going on here? Pick and choose. Goloka with rag, Goloka without rag. Vaikuntha, 4 hours, 2 hours. Dwarkadish, Mathuradish, Vrindavan Das. Anything more I can confuse you with?
So we hear many acharyas saying there's no difference between Navadip Dham and Vrindavan Dham, Raj Dham and Navadip Dham. So how do we reconcile these 2 places, and what is your take on that?
Acharyas say there's no difference between Navadvip and Vrindavan. I don't know what they're talking about. I haven't heard this from my teacher. Vrindavan, if you look at, there's more dissimilarities than there are similarities. Vrindavan, Krishna is he's a Abhira Vaishya. Abhira is the lowest class of Vaishya. The lowest class of Vaishya. The lowest class is called Abhira, A-B-H-I-R-A. It's in Radha Krishna's Deepika and other places describing the caste of Vaishya. The lowest class. He doesn't grow any crops, he just goes like this and takes the milk. The cows go eat grass here and there, he follows them and takes the milk, that's it. They sell the milk and make butter and ghee, that's it. They don't know how to plant, they can't plant rice and wheat and anything. They're considered very stupid and very simple people. Simple, not simple, simple. Saralata. You can't tie his shoes, he doesn't have shoes. Krishna can't tie his shoes, that's why he goes barefoot. Everybody else has shoes, they tie their shoes, he can't even figure out how to tie his shoes, so he's forced to go barefoot. He doesn't know how to button a shirt, so he doesn't wear a shirt. He can't figure out how to button a shirt, he's too stupid. So he goes just, bare chest with each other. I can't play any decent instrument like piano or guitar, take some intelligence. He just picks up a piece of bamboo, boo, 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 boo. He just get a piece of bamboo, put some holes in it, and go, boo, boo, boo. And he goes, woo, woo, woo. Playing piano or guitar or sitar or esraj, Veena takes some intelligence. Radharani plays Veena, takes vast intelligence to learn Veena. So many frets, 37 frets, and Krishna forgot he can't. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, 5-year-old kid, you see it at a prickle mark. The kid's crying, they buy a 5-rupee flute, and he starts playing, and one second, woo. So Krishna's simple, he plays a simple instrument, and all the simple girls, oh, it's so beautiful, they come running, Vamshidhari, Krishna Murari, Chavavida Dukari. So, what to do? What was the question? No. Okay. Krishna Navadvip is a Brahmin. He's a Pandit. He's a Digvijay Pandit. Krishna and Vrindavan is stupid. Uttar goes to Lila. All the Devas come down over prayers from Rig Veda. Shiva, Brahma, they all come down over prayers from Rig Veda. And Krishna's leaning on his shoulder. What the hell are they talking about? And Madhamangal says, Bhatu's Madhamangal says, Krishna, you're so stupid. Don't you know that's Sanskrit Bhasha? That's Sanskriti Bhasha. What? I know Braj Bhasha. What is this Sanskrit Bhasha? When are they going to get over it? Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashanti Sayoja Diva Tattvatam Tavirat. Oh my God, what's it? So now Krishna takes out cows. He's a coward boy. He's a Vaishya, and Krishna nowadays a Mishra Brahmin. Hail Mishra. That's good. He's a Mishra Brahmin, high class Brahmin, Digvijay Pandit. Doesn't take out cows. There's no similarity at all. There's no similarity at all in Vrindavan. Krishna steals clothes, lies, cheats, steals, and Krishna and nowadays a pure Brahmin. There's no similarity. They take around nowadays Madhaprabhu and say, this is Radha Kunda, this is Shama Kunda. That's a pipe dream of those acharyas. It's nowhere in Shastra. It's nowhere in ancient Puranas or anywhere told. It's not in Adi Vrah Purana. Any ancient Puranas talks about Lila Stalis, talks about Brajmandal, talks about Pushkar, talks about Ayodhya. Doesn't say a word about Navadvip, nothing. So the idea that Navadvip, Vrindavan, or modern are one appeared from 1920s, maybe like that, 1920s. Before 1920s, no such idea ever existed. Navadvip is Navadvip. It's called Darya Dham, it's Navadvip. It's called Prem Dham. It's called Siddhabhumi, that's called Sadhana Bhumi. Vrindavan is called Siddhabhumi. Navadvip Mandal is called Sadhana Bhumi. It's called Darya Dham, it's a place of compassion and mercy. And then people say, Navadvip, Mahaprabhu doesn't take offense. That's totally bogus. He took so many, he offended Devananda, took Gopal Chama. There's 10, 15 people that made aparats to Mahaprabhu and didn't get forgiven. So people say so many misconceptions about Navadvip. Navadvip, Lord Chaitanya doesn't take offenses. So let me live in Navadvip and smoke pot and chase all the girls. And no offenses. They're all going to hell. It's a big illusion of living in. Navadvip takes offenses. Gaudiya Vaisnava take offenses. Read Chaitanya Bhagavad, you see all the different stories how guys are begging Lord Chaitanya, please forgive me, I will forgive you 10 million years. Rot in hell for 10 million years. Where's the forgiveness? So much misconception. Navadvip is Navadvip, Vrindavan is Vrindavan. Never the twain shall meet. Radha Kunda is here, is not there. Lord Chaitanya didn't discover Radha Kunda Navadvip. Why he came here to discover Radha? If Radha Kunda and Shama Kunda are Navadvip, why didn't Lord Chaitanya discover them there? Well, what's the answer now? Well, that's an interesting question. Because I've been in Navadvip Parikramah and the guys in charge, here's Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda. I said, what are you talking about? I have a kutir Radha Kunda, this is not Radha Kunda. No, it's Radha Kunda. I have to become blind and see it, or what? Why did Lord Chaitanya come here to discover it? Did Lord Chaitanya ask it? Did Lord Chaitanya discover it? No. Who discovered this? Well, I don't know. Come on, wake up. Hello. We have vivek, we have intelligence. Buddhi means vivek, discrimination. What's true, what's not true. Accept the truth and reject the falsity. So what's the truth? The truth is in Shastra. The description of holy dhammas is described in Adi Vrah Prana, Adi Vrah Prana, Padma Prana, Skanda Prana. If you look at all Puranas, they talk about holy places. It's all about Brajmana. They don't say a word about Navadvip Dham. They talk about Jagannath Puri Dham. Purushottam Mahatmyam is in Skanda Purana. It's all about Jagannath Puri. They talk about Ayodhya. They talk about Jagannath Puri. They talk about Vrindavan Dham. They talk about Haridwar. They don't say one word Navadvip anywhere. It's a Janamsthan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's across the river, by the way, also, most people say. It's called Prachin Janamsthan. Anyway, so it's from what I learned from my guru, from the books I study, and Puranas I know, I never agree that Navadvip and Vrindavan have anything similarity. The form of the Lord is totally different. It's not Krishna. It's Chaitanya is Krishna with Radha's Bhav and Radha's Kanti. He's Sakshat Krishna, Vande Krishna Srupam. But there's no similarity. That's Gaur Lila is Gaur Lila, and Krishna Lila is Krishna Lila. The unique feature of Gaur Lila, he's always absorbed in Krishna Lila. He's always meditating on Krishna Lila. And Sri Damodar and Rai Ramanan are always singing about Krishna Lila to help him remember it. And Navadvip, Sri Damodar and Navadvip was always singing bhajans about Krishna Lila to help Lord Chaitanya absorb in Krishna Lila. And when he was in Gambhira, Sri Damodar kept singing, and Rai Ramanan also sang. Only about Krishna. Gita Govinda, Krishna Karnamrita Gita Govinda, the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. This is what Lord Chaitanya heard in Gambhira. So wherever Lord Chaitanya was, he was in Vrindavan Lila. So what Lord Chaitanya, he taught that we should always be in Vrindavan Lila. He's born in Navadvip. He didn't say anything about being in Navadvip Lila. His first little example is not in Navadvip Lila. Not doing Navadvip Smaran, he's doing Vrindavan Smaran and Radha Krishna Lila Smaran. You can read the Chaitanya Charitamrita and find all my truth.
So, just to follow up, why did Bhaktivedanta Swami put so much emphasis on Mayapur and wants to have a huge temple there and bring so many people there?
The question is asked, why did Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada emphasize Mayapur and make a huge establishment there and a wonderful community for Vaishnavas to live on the bank of the community? Because it was a wish of his Guru and his Param Guru. And Prabhupada was a pure servant of his Guru and fully dedicated. Even many occasions Prabhupada said, the key to my success was twofold. I had absolute faith in the words of my Guru and absolute faith in the Hari Krishna Maha Mantra. That's very clear from all Prabhupada's writings and actions. He had 100% faith in the Hari Krishna Maha Mantra and in the teachings and instructions of his Guru. And that's his perfection. So he wants to share that perfection with the world by making the biggest establishment in Mayapur, which they have. It's a grand place, it's a wonderful place. But all I do there is show Siddha Bhakti, hear and chant, remember Krishna and Gauranga. So it's a perfect place. And 99% of Gaudiya Vaishnavas believe and accept that birthplace is across the river in Prachin Janmastan. It's called Prachin Mayapur. New Mayapur, there's new Mayapur in France. New Mayapur. And New Mayapur is ISKCON Mayapur. And Prachin, which means old, original, it's called Prachin, is across the river. It's called Prachin Mayapur. It was there before the Mayapur of ISKCON Gaudiya Math, on the other side of the river. So all Nityananda Prabhupada, Advaita Prabhupada, Gadadhara Prabhupada, Shananda Prabhupada, every Prabhupada believes that the original true birthplace of Lord Chaitanya is on the other side of the Ganges. And who cares? It's the Ganges, the holy place, the Navadvip Mandal is the holy place, and Prabhupada and Gaudiya Math have that place there. So no problem. Come here and chant, bathe in Ganga, and go back to Godhead. Twice.
Wow.
No problem.
Wow.
No tension. Tension-free life. Read Bhagavad Gita.
So Maharaj,
Everything is good. It's not us and them. It's all good. There's two Gokuls in Vrindavan. There's two Mayapurs. There's Vallabhacharya's Gokul and there's Prachin Gokul. So what to say? There's two Janmastans in Vrindavan. There's Pochakund and there's Birla Mandir. Birla Mandir is called one Janmastan, and 100 meters behind that is Pochakund, and that's the ancient Janmastan. There's two Gokuls in Vrindavan, there's two Janmastans, so no problem. Wow, what? It's not Germany, it's not Switzerland. I want to know the truth. What's the one truth? You're not going to find one truth in India, nowhere. So, have you heard the verse? Eko Bahusham. Eko Bahusham. One Eko became Bahu, many. The one became many. The one Janmastan became 5 Janmastans. 5 Janmastans. Radharani's born in Varsana. No, Radharani's born in Ravel. No, you're both right. She's born Barsana Brahma, she's also born Kamivan. Ah, what? There too, yeah. Wow. Jai Radhe. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. The Dhamma Yai Ki. What to say? Just relax. Chant Krishna, be happy. The most interesting thing my guru ever taught me was, because I asked him 10,000 questions a day, you know. And he said, haven't you realized by now, this was on 48 years in Bhakti, this is after 44 years. He said, how long have you been in Bhakti in this life? I said, 44 years. He said, haven't you realized now that the absolute truth is totally subjective? It took me like 2 weeks to recover from that. Haven't you realized the absolute? The absolute, there's no two, it's one, absolute one. The absolute one, undivided truth is subjective. It means what you think it is, that's what it is. What you believe it is, that's what it is. What you think is what you get. Yam yam vavi sram bhavam tyajanti kleram tam tam eveti kante sada tad bhava bhavitaha. That bhav, tad bhav, that bhav, you're always thinking of that, you'll attain when you leave the body. 8th chapter of Gita, 6th verse. Tell us like it is.
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejatyante kalevaram tam tamyalaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita.
Sayo, Sadhini and Brahman ki jai. There's two brothers. This is Jai here and Vijay is in the back. This is Jai and Vijay is in the back with a toby on. Two-tone toby, gray and black. These are my two guards. Front guard, rear guard. Jai Vijay. Their nickname is Jagai Madan. Okay, that's not recorded, by the way. It's on that thing, but anyway. Jai Radhe. Questions? Young gentleman, question. Looking smart, smart Kurtu. Look smart. Smart means looking good. Yeah, nice Kurtu, look smart. Prabhupada said you should dress like a gentleman. You look like, okay. Okay, question.
Net question.
Net question, no. Gross question. Well, net profit, gross profit. Net question, gross question. What's the gross question here? We got a gross question.
So I have 3 questions. On the sadhaka stage, the affection for Radha and Krishna, can it change from one to the other? Affection for Radha, that the ultimate sadhaka feels more for Krishna or more for Radha. Can it change from one to the other?
Can it change from
For
one
some
to...
reason, if one has a more affection for one or the other, can that change?
There's Samasneha and there's Adik Sneha. Adik means extra. So they have Krishna Adik Sneha, more affection for Krishna, or they have Radha Adik Sneha, more affection for Radharani, right?
Yeah.
And can they change that? Yes, they can change it. And they, he, she, whoever. And they, listen.
What will depend on that?
Let me finish, please. My dear, relax. When, say, for example, a Gopi Adik Sneha Mantri has more affection for Radharani, but in some particular leelas, she shows more affection for Krishna. she shows more empathy for Krishna and takes up his side and teams up with Krishna to help break Radharani's mind. Radharani's in mind, she's in unfavorable, contrary mood. She refuses to meet Krishna, and all the Sakhis and other Manjaris are on Radharani's side, and Krishna's losing. Everywhere he goes, he gets a cold shoulder. Nobody wants to help Krishna. So one Sahasrara Manjari said, "Okay, Krishna, I'll help you. You don't deserve it, but I have a soft spot in my heart for you, so I'll help you out." So in that case, she swings her affection. She shows more affection for Krishna in a given pastime. So they can change and come out of that leaning towards Krishna Radharani and lean towards the other one. So what you want to ask or what?
Okay, but on the sadhaka stage.
Sadhaka stage. Yeah, we often see, like I had some disciples, and one disciple was really crazy about Radharaman. And one day she called me on the phone and says, I'm not going to see Radha. I said, "You still going to see Radharaman? Bring me some Mahaprasad." Because, I was getting a good deal there. I was getting Mahaprasad. She said, "No, I'm not bringing any more Mahaprasad. I'm angry with Radharaman. I'm not going to go see Radharaman anymore. I'm angry with him. I don't like him anymore." I said, "I'm just meditating on Radharani." I said, "Okay, what did he do wrong?" "No, he's not good." So I don't know, people have Chancho, Chancho Himana Krishna. So sadhakas can also apparently change their affection. Sometimes you more affection for Radharani, more affection for Krishna. This is an example. So I asked the lady recently, I said, "You made up with Radharaman? Have you made up with him?" "Yeah, I forgave him. I'm going to have darshan now." I said, "That's good." Yeah, people have their bhav, Can't make a judgment. That if you have feelings like you like some guy for a while, then you don't, It happens. So how does it's Krishna? Anyway.
So does that mean that if one has more leaning towards Krishna, that his connection is, for example, Danishta or Vrindavan?
What is that?
So if the sadhaka has more leaning towards Krishna than Radharani, does that mean that the connection is one of the gopis that have more affection for Krishna, like Vrinda or Danishta?
Well, we make a little clearer your question. I understand the principles you're saying. What is your question? I don't think you have a clear idea yourself.
I have.
Okay, tell me.
I have. So, if on a sadhaka stage, a devotee feels more leaning towards Krishna,
Okay.
what is the connection on a siddha stage?
On the Siddha, what is the connection with this?
Does that indicate a connection of a devotee with a gopi that is more leaning towards Krishna?
Okay. If sadhaka has an inclination of a particular orientation of bhav, does that mean indicate the indication of their uteshri or their primary sakhi?
Yes.
You can say that, yes. Because that may be from last life, and at a certain point in this life, that samskar becomes revealed to you, becomes obsession, becomes your primary focus and aspiration. So then you can connect yourself and align yourself with a sakhi or manjari that exemplifies the emotional outlook that you have. And that can be also adjusted with your guru also. Your guru will advise you. Because, many sakhis have some snehadika, and some have Radha sneha, some have Krishna sneha. They're all friends. They're not opposed to each other. It's just the way they deal in different circumstances. Some other person has a question? Yes.
I Spanish, I don't speak English. But I traduction.
Spanish.
I can't hear.
He can't speak English. He told he can speak Spanish.
Spanish. Somebody knows Spanish?
We would try to translate.
Yeah, she knows it.
She will translate.
Try, I would try.
Okay, try. Tell her your question.
¿Cómo podemos nosotros, con este cuerpo material, comprender las relaciones de Krishna con sus asociados más íntimos, con este cuerpo material? Con este cuerpo material. ¿Cómo con sus asociados muy íntimos? Con los Maharaj, con los ¿cómo podemos comprender con este cuerpo material?
So he's asking, how can we understand the connection of Krishna with his intimate sakhis with our material body? That's what he's asking.
The question is asked, how can we understand Krishna's amorous, loving pastimes with the Sakhis with our material body? That's all we have is a material body, a material mind, a material intelligence. So there's no other way we're going to understand except the material mind and intelligence that we have been given by God. But the way we understand is by reading and hearing the books and commentaries of the great acharyas. Like for example, Prabhupada's Krishna book, Prabhupada translated the 10th canto. Practically every verse is translated in the Krishna book. You can find out the translations, where the translations end and the commentary begins if you have a Sanskrit edition. I've done it. But practically every verse he's translated himself in the Krishna book. And he has very long commentaries and purports to describe what it all means. Because in the Krishna book it describes Rasa Leela. It says Krishna put his arms on the gopis, he touched their breasts, he touched their thighs, and he did so many intimate things with the gopis in Rasa dance. And Prabhupada explains in very long commentaries to help understand the spiritual position of Radharani and spiritual identity of Radharani and gopis. And so we understand everything by explanation of the acharyas. Then we can adjust our mind and intelligence and probably understand and read about these leelas. Or you just pick out the 10th canto Bhagavatam or any Leela book without commentaries, you can make offenses. Jiva Goswami says in Bhakti Sandarbha, he says there's a measurement, a barometer to know whether you should read or not read. It's called Purusha Vikar. Vikar means transformation, Purusha means male transformations. It means when you read about Krishna and Radharani in Kunja Leela, they're in the Kunja on a flower bed enjoying amorous pastimes, and you become mentally agitated. You become agitated for a woman or man. Your mind becomes transformed. You become agitated, it means you're not peaceful. You don't keep a cool head, you get hot-headed. That's called Purusha. Purusha Vikar means transformation of enjoying spirit. Purusha means enjoying. You want to enjoy, Krishna's lying on Radharani. Oh, that's nice, I'd like to lie on Radharani. Or Krishna's kissing Radharani. Oh, I like Krishna kiss me. Krishna's embracing Radharani. Then you're in Maya. You become affected by the subject matter. So he said you should put it down. You shouldn't read. That's the barometer. If you read Krishna's intimate pastimes, you become mentally or physically or both disturbed, you should put it down. But don't stop reading about Radha Krishna Leela. So some people wrongly say, well, if you're getting agitated, you should start reading about demon killing Leelas. This is not the teaching of the acharyas. We read about particular Leelas to cultivate a particular sthai rati. Sthai rati means madhurya rati, Vatsayarati, Sankirati, Dasarati. These are permanent loving moods towards Krishna, which one will gravitate towards because of samskars or because of mantra diksha, because of Guru Kripa. You will develop a particular Stairati. And that Stairati doesn't change once it's established in your heart and mind and consciousness. It's eternally with you. So your Stairati is Madhurya which means you want to worship Radha and Krishna in amorous mood of love, like Radha and Krishna gopis. That's forever. But if you're reading about the Radha and Krishna's intimate pastimes, because of being disturbed, you should start reading that, but read about Radha and Krishna's other pastimes, other Sambhog Leela, Joan Leela, Ban Bihar, wandering the forest, Jal Kali, playing, water splashing, swing pastimes. Pastimes which don't involve physical, transphysical intimacy, man-woman intimacy in Kunja. You avoid those, but you don't boycott Radha and Krishna. You always hear and chant about Radha and Krishna, because you have to develop your Stairati, the emotions and feelings, the emotional outlook and attachment to Krishna in the mood of a gopi.
Srila Prabhupada recommend that don't read the 10 cantos, 10 Srimad Bhagavatam directly.
I can't hear. I can't hear.
Srila Prabhupada said don't read 10th canto directly.
If Krishna book is good, but then 10 directly is no good because it's very
Krishna book is good. Don't jump onto 10th canto directly. It's deep.
This gentleman is saying, Prabhupada said, 10th canto is good, but don't read it. But I beg to differ with you, my friend. I joined ISKCON in 1975, which means I've been involved with ISKCON for 48 years, which is longer than you're even in this body. And you may not know, but in the beginning of ISKCON there were 3 books. The very first book that was published by Srila Prabhupada in America was Krishna book in 1969. 1969. There were 2 books in ISKCON. The first canto of Bhagavatam, which Prabhupada brought on a boat in 1965. He arrived in New York, Boston, went to Pennsylvania, and came back to New York in 66. In 66 in ISKCON, there was first canto of Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita by Radha Krishna, Professor Radha Krishna. They were giving class in Gita from a Gita by Radha Krishna. Prabhupada was reading from that and giving his own commentaries. And then the second book was published with Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. First book was Krishna book was published with ISKCON Press 1969. And Prabhupada said, everyone should read this book every night before they take rest. So in 1969, there was no second canto. There was no Chaitanya Charitamrita. There was no Nectar of Instruction. There was no Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion was published in 1970. There's only 2 books in the beginning of ISKCON, Krishna book and first canto. An Easy Journey to Other Planets. And we read, and Prabhupada ordered us to read it every night. So before the first books that Prabhupada ordered everyone to read was Krishna book, 10th canto. So your statement is totally wrong. You're a good person. You heard somebody, some temple president told you that, or some guru, or some other respectable gentleman. Told you that, but it's totally wrong. I was in ISKCON for 38 years, 38 of the 48 years. I was in ISKCON, temple presidents, announcing all that stuff. And every night we read Krishna book, had hot milk and read Krishna book in every single temple in America. From 1969 until 77, when Prabhupada was on the planet. So we went through the book every single night. We heard the Krishna book. Every single day in the LA temple, I was in LA. We heard Krishna book at lunchtime. 2 times a day we heard Krishna book. Prabhupada was right there in the temple, and the Krishna book readings going on. So read Krishna book today. Don't listen to all the nonsense. Read Krishna book, you won't make an offense. You get all proper explanation by Prabhupada. Jaya. Krishna Mukhi Jaya. You don't ask any question. Who else? Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I would like to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Leela in Gambhira Leela at that time. And he transformed like a transcendental form, like a turtle or something.
Excuse me? I know, Gambhira, what do you say? You transformed?
Like a
Turtle.
Like a hand and leg is turtle.
Kurma Chaitanya.
Yeah. Too much feeling or some. At that time, before Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't see like a Krishna and Radha. Like a, in that time, he became third person as Manjari. This is what I understanding. But I want to know more detail. What do you feel? I want to know your feeling, how to see this leader, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt at that time. I want to know his Baba at that time, what he felt.
Kurma Chaitanya Rup, she's asking. So the question is asked about Lord Chaitanya Gambhira Leela, his Auntie Leela, Gambhira Leela, the last 6 years of his life, from the age of 42 to 48 years on this planet, last 6 years. One night, late at night, around Rasa Leela time, around 12 o'clock at night, Lord Chaitanya broke out of Gambhira. Gambhira was an underground room, actually. When you go there to Puri and Kashi Vishwa's house, this little room on ground level, but the room was actually underground, where Lord Chaitanya stayed. It was a cave underground. When you go there, they show some room with some bars on it. That's not the real thing. It's right, I think it's underneath that room, or near that room, right underground. And then he locks on the doors. So he broke out because he was in Radha Bhav. He was thinking, Krishna's calling me for rasa dance. Jagannath is Prajanandan Shyamsundar Krishna, two-armed form Krishna. Krishna's playing the flute. I'm hearing the flute. He's calling me for rasa dance. I have to go to Rasa Leela. So Mahaprabhu broke out of the Gambhira. He ran and he started to climb the temple, climb the walls of the temple. Like it's all locked. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. The deity's gone to rest. Jagannath's gone to take rest. So he climbed and he collapsed and entered into it. He told the Vikar, it's called Prem Vikar. He totally transformed his body. His arms went inside his chest, his legs went inside his chest. And everybody went to search for him. He looked like a golden pumpkin. A golden pumpkin or a golden turtle. Turtle puts his arms and legs inside his body. So the form is called Kurma Chaitanya. Kurma Chaitanya Rup. I'm sure, I know that Gaudiya Vaisnava Swami has written an article about this, and he explains, I'm just recapping that article. I haven't heard anything from my teacher. My teacher hasn't told, I haven't read anything myself in Shastra, and I haven't heard anything from my teacher. But there are many Shastras written in Aryan language. Many Shastras by great acharyas written in Aryan language, which Gaudiya Vaisnava Swami has studied and read. And he knew many Babajis from Orissa also. And he had an association with very high-class sadhus and Babajis from Orissa. So he was very learned and realized, saintly person, Gaudiya Vaisnava Swami. So he told the story that Lord Chaitanya was in Dwarka Leela. Krishna's in Dwarka. And he's heard from news report, some news came, messenger came, and told, your Radharani, she's been living all this time, but now she's dying. She's leaving her body. Radharani's in Nidhiban. Nidhiban down there. She's in Nidhiban, and she's about to leave her body. When Krishna was in Dwarka. So what is she doing? She's lying on the ground and she's just sighing Sham, 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 and is lying in the dust of Nidhivan. And she's rolling in the dust, she's covered with Braj head to toe, her hair is loose, and she's got all dust all over her body. All the gopis were sitting around crying, everyone's crying, and hardly she's breathing. Her breath is very slow. It seems like she's about to leave her body. So Krishna heard that. Immediately in the speed of wind, he came, he's God, he's fat, came, in 1 second, he came from Dwarka to Nidhivan, Vrindavan. He entered the gate of Nidhivan, and he saw Radharani lying on the ground, all gopis crying. And Radharani's all his hair disheveled and covered with dust, and she was lying on her back, and Krishna, he started staggering, and Krishna he saw Radharani, he started to walk towards Radharani, and he's staggering and stumbling and tripping. And what happened at that time, he got near Radharani, and he collapsed, and his arms went inside his body, and his legs went inside his body, and his eyes became really big. His mouth had this fanatical smile on his face, and that's the form of Jagannath. So this story is, I heard this story, I read this somewhere in some writing of Gaura Govinda Swami, that Lord Chaitanya is showing the Kurma Rup is absorbed in remembering this pastime.
Means his turtle figure is very similar to this Jagannath.
What?
Jagannath and this Leela is connected.
Yeah, the form of Jagannath is like that.
Yeah.
There's other stories they explain why Lord Jagannath, in Puranas, and explains why Lord Jagannath got that form, which you can see in my book, Jagannath Puri Guidebook. Jaya!
Yeah. I want to ask about...
Wait a minute, wait.
Yes.
Anyone else have another question?
Yes. Again.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Right.
I think so. About fisherman leader of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I saw Radha and Krishna's Leela. Not he is in Radha. He saw Radha and Krishna's Leela, and I enjoyed this pastime so much. And he angry with Swarupada Madan and Ramananda. Why? You call me. I enjoyed to see this Leela. And actually...
What's the question? I know all the Leelas.
Yes. My question is that, so in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's not clear about Manjari Baba word. But at that time, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Manjari Baba. This is my question.
The question is, Chaitanya Charitamrita is not clear about Manjari Baba. The word Manjari was first appeared in Shastra, in Rupa Goswami's Radha Krishna Ganadash Deepika. He describes Manjaris. But Manjari is there's 5 types of Sakhis. The Manjari is called Nitya Sakhi or Pran Sakhi. There's this a category. So Sakhi also means Gopi. There's 5 kinds of Gopi, there's 5 kinds of Sakhis. One type of Sakhi or one type of Gopi is called Nitya Gopi, Nitya Sakhi, Pran Gopi, Pran Sakhi. And they're also called Kinkaris, also called Manjaris, also called Dasis. So the Chaitanya Charitamrita talks all about Gopis and talks about Gopi Bhav. When it's talking about Gopi Bhav and Gopis, it's also, that means Gopi, when you see the word Gopi Bhav, it means Manjari Bhav also. So the word is not Manjari, but Manjari means Gopi, Gopi means Sakhi. So it says, like Lord Chaitanya in Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Ate Angi Gopi Baba Angikar. Ate Angikar Gopi Baba. Except Gopi Baba. So when he's telling Gopi Baba, he's talking about Manjari Baba. So he's saying Gopi Baba, but it means Manjari Baba. So that's one point. And the second point, there's 2 pastimes, at least 2 pastimes where Lord Chaitanya is having darshan of Radha and Krishna, described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. One, he went swimming, he went in the ocean, he got lost in the ocean, drowning. Fishermen pulled him up. He was dreaming of Jalke Leela. He was standing on the banks of the Yamuna and he saw Radha Krishna splashing water. Yeah. So there he's not Radharani, he's not Krishna. So who is he? So Anantadas Babaji said he's a Manjari Bhav. Another pastime, some gopis come up to Mahaprabhu in his meditation, his dream, in Spurti, Lord Chaitanya, he describes Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gopis approach Lord Chaitanya, say, come help us pick flowers. Radha and Krishna entered this cave in Govardhan. Radha and Krishna entered this cave. So in that Leela, Lord Chaitanya is not Krishna, he's not Radharani, who is he? So he's a Manjari being asked by a Sakhi to pick flowers for Radharani. So Anandadas Babaji mentions in his books that these two pastimes indicate that Lord Chaitanya is relishing Manjari Bhav. So that's what I can say about that. But Lord Chaitanya's principal reason for coming was to preach Raganuga Bhakti Prachar, as told in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the other internal reason was to relish Radharani's Mahabhav and understand the happiness she experienced. But three internal reasons. Manjari Bhav is not the main purpose of Lord Chaitanya. He came to teach it and spread it. He spread it and taught it through the 6 Goswamis. And he taught some verses on Raganuga Bhakti and Manjari Bhav himself in Madhya Lila Chapter 8 to Ramananda Roy. It's called Ramananda Sambhag. And Adi Lila Chapter 4 describes Manjaris by Krishnadas Kaviraj. Raganuga Bhakti and Manjari Bhav, practice of Manjari Bhav is described in Madhya Lila Chapter 8, teachings of Ramananda Roy. What time is it?
4:48.
Thank you.
12 minutes.
Well, devotees here must have questions. I can't believe you came here with no questions. But this is a question and answers format. So wait, well, I'm trying to, shake up some other people here. But if people are nervous, they've never been here to feel nervous and shy and whatever. But, I want to give everybody a chance to ask a question if they have a question. You're a pracharak yourself, so you're not shy.
I have a question, and she's a question.
Okay, anybody else have a question? Okay, this Vaishnavi. That's you, you're a Vaishnavi.
Thank you. My question is, could you please explain what it means to really surrender to Krishna as being the Krishna in Vrindavan, the Prananat of Radharani? What it means, how does it feel, and what happens then?
Can you rephrase? Can someone just repeat the question so I have it clearly understood? You said Radharani. How do you surrender to Radharani?
What it means to really surrender to Krishna in Vrindavan as being the Lord of Radharani's heart, Prananat, this Krishna, and how does it feel, and what happens?
How does it feel?
How does it feel, or how do you
feel? She said.
Yeah,
Feeling.
How does it feel to surrender to Krishna, the mother of Radharani? That's a good question. How does it feel? I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know.
So maybe I explain. I don't feel a doubt in Krishna or Radharani. I doubt in my own surrender. I'm asking myself. So, where am I in what state? And I cannot understand really.
Let me try. I don't know if I think I'm not getting it, but I'll just try to speak something what my inspiration is. The idea is that a person, a sadhaka, becomes attracted to Krishna and Vrindavan. The sweetness and charm and beauty of his pastimes, and the sweetness and charm and beauty of Krishna's pastimes is greatest with Radharani gopis. So some devotees are attracted to Radha and Krishna's Leelas in Vrindavan because of the sweetness, because of the charm, and because of the beauty and the informality of it. It's very sweet, it's very beautiful, it's very charming, it's very friendly and very human-like, and very attractive and heart-stealing. Steals the heart. So when your heart gets stolen like that, you want to be part of it, you want to be part of it. And you want to identify with the characters. So that's the beginning of bhakti. You identify with the loving mood they have, how they love Krishna, how they serve Krishna, how they're dedicated to Krishna. We take the indication, we take the direction of our heart and the feelings of our heart, how to direct our heart and how to cultivate the feelings of our heart by how Radharani, by following the heart of Radharani. We want to serve Krishna like Radharani. Radharani becomes our everything. So we always hear about Radharani, and we always pray to Radharani, we sing songs about Radharani, and worship a form of Radharani, because we want to serve Radharani, because we're attracted to her more than Krishna. She's such a loving, kind, sweet person, and Krishna's so naughty and nasty, you know. He's so puffed up and proud and boastful and naughty and nasty. But we'll worship him. Because Gaudiya Vaisnavas, they say, why we worship Krishna? Our angle, we're worshiping Radharani, but we're worshiping Krishna too because Radharani likes him. I mean, if Radharani didn't like him, we wouldn't pay attention to Krishna. So Gaudiya Vaisnava, I'm just speaking for myself. You know, I'm interested in where Radharani is. Raghunath Das is my guru, my teacher. And Raghunath Das Goswami said, you tell me Krishna's ran to Dwarka, I say, okay, good, fine. Go to Dwarka. Well, you say Radharani went to Dwarka, I'll go to Dwarka faster than the speed of light. I'll fly off, I'll leave Vrindavan and go to Dwarka faster than the speed of light, because I want to be with Radharani. So Vrindavan is the place where people are mad about Radharani. Even the trees are mad about Radharani. The trees are saying Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. They're not saying Krishna, Krishna. Monkeys are saying Radhe, Radhe. Nidhiban me bandar bole Radhe, Radhe. Not Nidhiban me bole Krishna, Krishna. Maybe Raman Reti, the monkeys are saying that, I don't know. Raman Reti bandar bole Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. But everywhere else in Vrindavan, Yamuna be the waves in Yamuna are chanting Radhe, Radhe. The monkeys in Nidhiban are chanting Radhe, Radhe. Vrindavan Latapata be Bole Radhe, Radhe. The leaves of Vrindavan are chanting Radhe, Radhe. Maybe the leaves in MVT are chanting Hari Krishna. The leaves and the trees in MVT are chanting Hari Krishna. But outside the rest of Vrindavan, every leaf of every tree is saying Radhe, Radhe. So we want to read about Radharani. We hang out with devotees of Radharani, like Tulsi Manji, Raghunath Das, Rupa Manji, Rupa Goswami. But they always talk about Radharani. They write books about Radharani, how she loves Krishna, how she serves Krishna. So we want to be part of that. We want to be a maid servant of Radharani. So we want to feel like how Radharani feels and how she thinks. And she gets angry with Krishna, but we'll get angry also. And she feels bad about it. It's called Kalahantri Tabab. After Radharani throws Krishna out of the kunj, because he shows up at sunrise with kisses from Chandravali and bite marks from Chandravali. So Radharani gets very angry and throws Krishna out of the kunj. Then afterwards she laments. It's called Kalahantarita. Antar means after Kalaha means fighting. After fighting, lamenting after fighting. Oh, I miss him. I wish he was back here. I shouldn't have thrown him away. He was pretty nice, you know. I shouldn't have driven him away. We'll need to go get him. No, we're not getting him. You should go get him. No, we're not bringing him back here. He's too nasty. He stood here all night and shows up at sunrise with lipstick from Chandravali and he kissed the eyes of Chandravali, his black kajal on his lips, you know, mascara. He's a bum, he's a rake, he's a dirt, he's kapat, lampat. Never again come in this kunja. And then some mantra said, come on, Radharani, let's bring Krishna back. So in Vrindavan, we're in Radharani's team, you know. When Radha and Krishna, Jal Keli and Radha Kunda, Krishna defeats Radharani, no one cheers. No one says anything. Suwal says Hari Katha or whatever. But when Radharani splashes Krishna defeats him, every monkey, every deer, every dog, everyone's saying, Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Because Vrindavan, this is Vrindavan, is Radharani Sarkar. Radharani's in charge here, Vrindavaneshwari. So love Radharani and serve Krishna through Radharani's love. You can serve Krishna by entering the heart of Radharani. You can enter the heart of Radharani by becoming her Dasi Manjari. That's the way. The way to Krishna's heart is through Radharani's heart. The way to Radharani's heart is to become her humble servant, or Dasi. Dasyam, Dasyam, Dasi. Is that right? Or Cooch?
Internet. Dasyam, Dasyam.
Okay. Questions? Yes, sir.
In Jagannath Havalda Vatika, Maharaj Prataparudra received mercy from Mahaprabhu. He recited Gopi Gita and Mahaprabhu embraced him. What kind of mercy he received? I mean, Gopi Baba, Sakya Baba, Jari Baba. I mean this question. What he received, Prataparudra Maharaj.
I missed it. I got sneezed.
Okay, I will repeat.
No, let me see if I got it. Maharaj Prataparudra wrote Jagannath Natakam, and he wanted to get close to Lord Chaitanya. So his friends advised him to dress like an ordinary Vaishnava, not like a king because he's a king, just like a poor Bengali Vaishnava or whatever, and Oriya Vaishnava. And when Lord Chaitanya stops in the Rath Yatra to rest in Jagannath Garden, you should enter the Jagannath Garden and start massaging Lord Chaitanya's feet and recite verses from Gita Govinda, from Gopi Gita. So you recite the verse, Tavakatam Ritam Tapta Jivanam. When you recite that verse, Tavakatam Ritam Tapta Jivanam. And Lord Chaitanya, he was in Mahabhav, Radharani's Mahabhav. He opened his eyes and immediately embraced. He just didn't know who it was. He just reached out and gave a warm, loving embrace to King Prataparudra. So that's the scene. Now what's your question?
Yes, what kind of mercy he received in this moment when Mahaprabhu embraced him? Why I'm asking? Because Ramananda Rai wrote for him song Kalayati Nayanam.
Ah, sure.
It's not simple thing, but why he wrote for him such a...
Yeah, I had to study this section, this verse, and get my own mercy from my guru to speak on this. I can't answer this question right now. I'm sorry. I haven't heard this subject directly talked about by my guru, or I haven't read about it that I can remember. So I had to collect the answer by Swarti from my guru, Kripa. So I can't answer that. I'm sorry. It's a very high question. Very good question. Very nice question.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So,
see if I can answer.
So you mentioned Navadvip Vrindavan different, but we sometimes hear 10 offense of Dharma, and then it describes we should not think difference in Vrindavan and Navadvip. Sometimes we heard like this.
That's not what 10 offenses in Vrindavan.
Like, no, like a Dhamma, sometimes, some devotees.
Oh, wait. Slow down. What's the question? Does this offense exist or what?
Yeah. Or like who said this, like a Dhamma parada, like a 10 offense.
Okay,
okay. Like IGN book sometimes mentioned.
IGN. The gentleman is asking about Dhamma Aparad. Dhamma Aparad, we don't find described in Goswami books. Dhamma Aparad is mentioned by Narayan Bhatta Goswami in a book called Braj Bhakti Vilas. Braj Bhakti Vilas was written about 400 years ago in Sanskrit or Hindi, I'm not sure. Sanskrit or Hindi, probably Sanskrit. He was a South Indian Brahmin, probably Sanskrit. Braj Bhakti Vilas has been translated in English. No, I don't know English, in Hindi for sure. And in that book he describes 10 offenses to Vrindavan. And I've seen a list, and there's no offense written in those 10 offenses to say that, to think that not to say or think or speak that Navadvip and Vrindavan are different.
Oh, I see.
That's, somebody says that we have a phrase in America, talking through their hat. Your hat's supposed to be on your head, not on your mouth. So you have your hat up here, you're talking through your hat. Means you put, I don't know, take your hat up, put your hat up, means you're talking nonsense. It's not true. It's nowhere. It's not written in any Goswami books. It's not even written in the 10 offenses. Where the 10 offenses do appear in one book, Braj Bhakti Vilas by Narayan Bhatta Goswami, that offense is not there. So I rest my case.
And could you explain what is the Dhamma Parada? Because we don't know, because sometimes.
The Dhamma Parad are almost like the Nama Parad. One offense is to commit sinful activities while living in the Dham. That's why it says you should only visit a Dham for 3 days. Because usually visiting a Dham is done, it's called Tirtha Yatra, and Tirtha Yatras are done by Grihastas. So husband and wife go on Tirtha Yatra. So after 3 days you get a little bit nervous.
I see.
Grihastas get a little nervous. They can't control their senses for more than 3 days, if they can even do that. So you come for 3 days and get out and go home and do your work outside the Dham. That's like when Krishna met the gopis at Kurukshetra, they were very unhappy because they were on a yatra, they were on a Tirtha Yatra Kurukshetra. They were very unhappy because they had to follow the 4 regular principles. It says in the commentaries. They said they couldn't really, they were meeting Krishna, they were in the candy shop, but they couldn't eat any candy. Imagine you go in the candy shop and you can't eat any candy. So Krishna was at Kurukshetra, the gopis were at Kurukshetra, they met in the forest, but they couldn't enjoy intimately, they couldn't rekindle their Madhurya Rati relationship. Why? Because both of them were following the regulations for Tirtha Yatra. They were both on Tirtha Yatra to Kurukshetra to bathe in the Samanta Panchaka during the Surya Grahan, sun, eclipse of the sun. So they had to be celibate. So a very frustrating meeting. They hadn't met for 50 years. Krishna was 55 years old when he met the gopis at Kurukshetra. On the Battle of Kurukshetra was 95 or something. He left Vrindavan when he was 11 years old. He met them 40 some years later in Kurukshetra. See but don't touch. So that was pretty austere. So one offense is to make business in the Holy Dham. Another offense is to consider the glories of the holy name to be exaggeration. Another offense is to make offenses to the scriptures to glorify the Holy Dham. Another offense is to think that the residents The Dhammavatsis or the Yatris or pilgrims visiting the Holy Dham are ordinary people. Oh, he's just a Delhi guy, Delhi Wali, you know. There's some Russian guy visiting it. No, that's offense. Anybody that's living here for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or born here or living here, they're all very special people. We should be careful not to offend them. This is one of the 10 Dhamma Parats. And I just told 4 or 5. They're in my book, Appreciating Vrindavan Dham. Jayananda. My book, Appreciating Vrindavan Dham, the 10 Parats are there, Dhamma Parats are there.
Thank you.
I think that's the time. Any last question anyone has? Any pressing question that you get angry if you leave and don't get your question answered? No, you don't look angry anytime. This lady looks dangerous. Oh, me? Yeah, you look angry type. Potentially angry. No, if someone has a question, they came all the way and don't ask a question, they go, oh, so you should serve your cause. Anyone? Sir, you have a question?
Yeah. If
Wait a second, let me start a new file here. Okay, yeah, please.
Thank you.
All right.
For those of us that don't have the mercy to get to live in Vrindavan full time, do you have any recommendations for how to stay in the loving mood that we cultivate here when we return back to where we reside?
Nice question. Zoe's asking a question, how do we keep the loving mood that we experience when we're in Vrindavan, when we return to our place of residence outside of Vrindavan? So what we have to do, because now you're here in Vrindavan, by good fortune, you and I are both here, what we have to do is trace out the source of that loving feeling. Because now it's in you. It's in you, and you feel it, and you're in touch with it. A loving feeling. You use that term. It's a very nice term. It's quite accurate and quite correct. Loving feeling. So why am I feeling this loving feeling? Where is it? Where do I feel this feeling more in Vrindavan? Why do I feel? How I analyze this feeling and try to. While you're here, analyze what is this feeling? What's making this feeling? Is it the air? Is it the people? Is it the lectures? Is it the deities? It's everything together and more. So first, while you're here, you have time, you're chanting, meditate on, and take notes and write down what your experience, what your answer will be to this question. Well, how is this feeling? What is this feeling? How is it being generated? Why is it happening to me? And get in touch with it and try to duplicate that same situation when you're outside the place. Like you say, I have this feeling when I'm in Rama Mandir. I really feel a lot of love when I'm in Rama Mandir. Well, have pictures of Raman. When you get back there, look at the picture of Raman and try to enter that feeling again. Well, when I went to Nidhiban, I felt a special feeling in Nidhiban. I wandered around there by myself. I embraced all those trees. I felt, I took some dust from that place. I took some dirt from that place in a little jar and put it in your head when you get back there. Try, in other words, reconnect. They use this term, reconnect and recollect your experiences here. And that will help you stay in touch with the loving feeling of Vrindavan. And if you're always reading about Vrindavan Leela also, reading, hearing tapes about Vrindavan Leela. Like this devotee Dina Bandhu, he has many tapes in English about parikramas here and there, telling pastimes around Krishna Vrindavan, different places. I think he has many YouTube movies, Leela tapes. You can listen to those and it brings you back in touch with Vrindavan and the Leela stories, the place of Krishna's pastimes. So reading about Krishna's pastimes and meditating on your experience here and where you went to Varsana, went to Nandagram, went to Vrindakund, one here and there, one Kirashprika, and try to remember those places. Those places are charged up. Every place here is a repository and charged up with and emanating that loving feeling. Viraj is emanating loving feeling. Yamuna is emanating loving feeling. So you have to get in touch with those places by memory, by visualization, by hearing, by absorb all your senses in Braj. And, that loving feeling will stay with you even out of Braj, I guarantee. Yes, sir.
What to do, how to get the mercy, how to get Sambandha.
Sambandha with what? With who? Sambandha means relation. How to get the mercy to get Radha Sambandha? That's the question? How to get the mercy? You have to know somebody has Radha Sambandha. It's like how you get money, you have to make a relationship with Bill Gates.
Wow.
He's got the money to make a relationship. So that's what the Satsang is all about. Satsang is about Sambandha. Bandha means binding, Sam means completely. Completely binding your mind, heart, body, thoughts, desires, everything with a sadhu that loves Radharani. So you have to find a sadhu that loves Radharani and make a bondage with them, make a connection with them by thought, by word, by deed, by remembrance, and then you get their mercy, and then you become close to Radharani. Everything happens by kripa. Sambandha depends on kripa. When a guru accepts someone to have a disciple, that means he's accepting someone for Sambandha. Our beloved neighbor. So, Sambandha with Radharani depends on the sadhu, on the Radha Bhakta. So your guru must be a Radha Bhakta, so strengthen your relationship, your Sambandha with your guru by hearing more from your guru, serving more your guru, associating more with your guru, and praying that your guru will bless you with his bhav, bless you with his love. Prayer is power. Prayer is like a magnet. Like people try to use tantra to steal. So there's one guy, there's thieves in UP working with a tantra guy. And this tantric guy, he can tell where people are holding gold, where people are storing money. He said he has a GPS system or something, I don't know. He gets into meditation, tantric meditation, and he tells these thieves, because I met some of these thieves, and they told me. And he says, you go to Gaudiya colony, in this house, and this guy had 7 lakhs rupees in his house. 7 lakhs, not much money. So they came there in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There was one Bengali guy married a Western lady, and they just had 7 lakhs used to build their kutir. And the Kundas came and knocked on the door and said, we want the 7 lakhs in your house. We know where it is, don't play around with us, we have guns, we'll kill you. So the guy opened the door, and they walked in the house, went right to the place where the money was stashed, took it, walked out the door. Said, thank you, Radhi Radhi. They said Radhi Radhi, by the way. They didn't say thank you, they said Radhi Radhi. And they left. So this is a Gaudiya colony, it was about 15 years ago. So the people told me about it. So the same way, the Radha Bhakta, the guru of the Radha Bhakta has Radharani locked in his heart. So you have to make Sambandha with the guru and get that Radha Bhakti out of his heart. You have to go into his heart and take that Radha Bhakti out. So you do it by meditation, by prayer. I said prayer acts like a magnet. Like a magnet reaches out and grabs the iron filings. It's a powerful magnet, chumbak. It has some loha. From 1 meter away, it'll pull, boom. Like in America, in a junkyard, they take all the cars, they put them in a junkyard, and they move them here and there with a magnet, electromagnet. They have a crane. The crane has a magnet, a big magnet on it. And it goes like, boom, and 15 cars, 15 old smashed up cars are stuck on the end of a magnet. See the power of magnetism. And then they move, the crane goes like this, and lets it boom, and pulls out the electric current, and all the 15 cars drop off somewhere else. I saw my own eyes. So that's the prayer is like a powerful electric magnet. So prayer is like a magnet. It goes into the heart of the Guru and pulls out the Radha Bhakti from the heart. Boom. Chumbak. Chumbak means magnet. It's interesting, the word for magnet is the same as kiss. Kiss. Chumbak means kiss and chumbak means magnet. When two people they stick their lips together, it's like North Pole, South Pole. They got stuck. Like it. What? But it's interesting because the word for magnet is the same as kiss in Hindi, chumbak. Like in school, they play with magnets in third grade school. Teacher's saying, "Where's the chumbak? Where's chumbak?" Kids go kiss the teacher. No, they don't. They give a magnet. So you're saying how to develop Sambandha with Radharani. You have to get the mercy of Radharani from the Radha Bhakta. And you get it by serving, by hearing, by praying. I always pray my Guru is the great Radharani Bhakta. I'm always praying to my Guru for his mercy. Please help me develop a loving mood with Radharani, Radha Sambandha. It comes from up down. It doesn't come from down up. All good things come from up down. Rain comes from up down. Mercy comes from up down. Evam parampara praptam imam rajasya vidu. It's parampara comes down. Comes from Radharani to Krishna. And from Krishna to Brahma. So Radharani is the Adi Guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radhikara Prema Guru Ami Shishya Radhika is my praying guru, and I'm her dancing pupil. Shishya Nath means Nataraj. I'm dancing. Radharani is my guru, praying guru. So praying guru means Radha praying. So the Radha Bhaktas have Radha praying. So develop some bundle of Radha Bhaktas, and they like you and they favor you. They bless you. On that note, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.
Babaji Maharaj ki jai.
Jai